Be honest. You want to speak another language.
大家好，欢迎。
konnichiwa. 안녕하세요, 여러분.
But learning one is hard and takes a long time to see results.
좋아요.
Or so people think. What if I told you that you can get most of the benefits not by fluency, but just simply by learning? That's right. In fact, we get 80% of the results from 20% of the effort. I'm going to prove it to you, and I'll start by telling you a personal story. When I was traveling in Tokyo, I was trying, and very obviously struggling, to read the Japanese menu at a conveyor belt sushi restaurant. One of the chefs noticed me practicing and helped me read the more difficult kanji. Then I surprised him by speaking conversational Japanese, and we hit it off. The woman seated next to me also joined in the conversation, and they both told me that while they see a lot of foreigners around, neither of them have actually spoken to an American before. And then we had great conversations about culture in America and Japan. The chef then taught me the correct way to eat nigiri per Japanese custom, which I most definitely was not doing correctly. The woman then told me that after her meal she's going salsa dancing and invited me along. So I went. Hidden in one of the nearby tall buildings was a dance club on the upper floors, somewhere I never would have even thought to go to. Around 15 or so Japanese were dancing and listening to Spanish music. I had my first, and so far only, salsa dance lesson there. It was an amazing experience. There's something important that I want to point out to you. It all started because the chef saw me struggling and then began to help me out. He didn't do it because I could speak some Japanese, which he didn't even know at the time. He did it because I was trying. Visibly putting in the effort is perhaps the most important result of learning a language, and I'm going to improve it to you with my examples. Yes, skill level matters too, but once you get through all of the examples I'm going to share, you'll understand that just trying at all is more important than your actual skill. There are many reasons you may want to learn a language. Travel, relationships, work, food, and culture are some of the most common ones. What I didn't expect was how much all of these were impacted not by fluency, but just simply by studying. Imagine you're dating someone who is culturally bilingual. What do you think would be more important for them? If you could just suddenly magically speak their other language? Or if you started to learn it? It's a trick question. You might suspect that sharing the language is critical, but I clarified that you're already dating, so it's not a deal breaker. But learning their language? That shows that you are trying to get to know them better, to know their culture and their family. Tell me, that effort isn't sexy. Think about when you've been in a relationship and your partner just wasn't trying. That hurts. Real effort creates love. And this doesn't just apply to relationships, but to friendships as well. I have been learning Mandarin Chinese for 5 years now, and I encountered a lot of Chinese people in school and now again in work. Whether I simply said to them, "Ni hao," or had a full conversation, I've gotten the exact same amazed reaction from them. Just by showing them that I'm trying to learn their language and culture, they instantly feel appreciated and that much closer to me. The barriers have been broken down. Now, some of my best friends are Chinese, and it's not because I'm fluent in Chinese, which I'm not. It's because I'm trying. Whether it's friends, strangers you just met, a romantic partner, or even family members, every single one of them will feel loved when you try to learn their language. Now, let me tell you the story of how I interviewed for my current job, and once again, you'll see how beneficial it is just simply to be studying languages. Now, the interview was already going well for me, and the interviewer, who I'll call R, casually said to me, you seem pretty promising, we'll probably invite you to the next round. We spoke a little more, and then R mentioned that this role has a lot of international travel and if that would be a problem for me. R then told me where I might be expected to travel to: Japan, South Korea, China, Singapore, Taiwan. At that point in time, I was learning Japanese and Chinese, so I told R, hey, I have a current and updated passport, I can speak Japanese and Chinese at an intermediate level, and I would be particularly excited and grateful for the opportunity to travel to those 4 countries where those languages are relevant. I'll never forget the look on his face. It was a mixture of awe and shock. R asked me a few follow-up questions, almost in disbelief. He then said, all right, we'll definitely get you to the next round. And then we scheduled it, then and there. And so, just by mentioning that I study languages, R's verdict of me changed from probably to definitely. I want you to think about this for a minute. I admitted I was only intermediate level. He didn't test my level at all. And traveling to these places for this company, you're expected to use English anyway. So why did it dramatically improve R's opinion of me? It's simple. Everyone knows that studying another language requires years of practice and discipline. R immediately saw me as someone who is motivated, self-disciplined, constantly growing, and passionate towards a skill set that does have a tangible value at this specific company. Some critics say that I got lucky. I just so happened to find a company that needs people with an interest in the languages and cultures I was studying. But I would counter that by saying, fortune favors the prepared. I was already studying these languages, and I had already interviewed with many companies by this point. Of course, I'm going to find one eventually that will be a good fit. Fun fact, when I joined R's company, which is still my current job, I got put on the team that exclusively supports South Korean customers. So I started learning Korean. By the way, I already made a video on how to study a language. When you're ready to experience all these benefits for yourself, check it out and you'll be surprised at just how simple the method is. There's no actual studying required. Remember the story I told you earlier about the sushi chef and he taught me the correct way to eat nigiri? Food is not just simply food. Many of it has a story and a tradition to it that you don't get if you just simply eat it. You definitely don't need any kind of language fluency to enjoy another culture's foods. But if all you do is simply eat it, there's a lot you're going to miss out on. Just by trying to study and learn, you're going to pick up a lot more and thus learn more about this country's history. Culture can mean religion, history, philosophy, the current times and trends. Talk to any of these leaders, such as a pastor or a professor. Tell them that you're studying their native language and you want to learn more about this particular aspect of it. Tell me that they won't treat you better. If you've ever had any doubts about learning another language, let me clear them up for you right now. Just by trying to learn another language, you will unlock most of the benefits. Yes, some situations and jobs do require fluency, but for 99% of you watching, you don't need to reach a high skill level. Whatever your casual goals are, it's enough to get started, and your life, your relationships, and opportunities will be changed forever.